I'm Glenn Gregorio. I'm the head of structural biology and protein engineering here at Sanavia Oncology. I'm a structural biologist by training. We are developing therapeutics against cancer. The limitation is the 2D representation on a monitor. With my background, I can pretty much figure things out from 2D, but when you're trying to point things out to other people, it's kind of hard. We have this other guy, he's a consultant, he's using MOE, and then he's doing Zoom presentations, and it's just so hard to figure out what he's trying to show. Same with PyMOL. One common complaint I hear, even from our colleagues they're not structural biologists, but they're specialists in their own right. They usually turn off when I start showing these slides with the structures rendered from PyMOL, because they don't know what to look at, right? You have the mouse pointer, but because there's so much noise, right? When I kept saying, it's hard to kind of use 2D to kind of illustrate what we have. And then we decided, let's check out Nanome. A bunch of us were there. He brought in a few goggles, and yeah, it was clear that this was better. So now with Nanome and VR, it's so much easier to kind of like illustrate, structural biology aspects of the work that we do, and there's that wow factor as well. For example, I've been looking at this structure that we work on for quite a while, just recently on using PyMOL on a 2D screen. And I kind of understand what's going on, but then when we switch to Nanome and you look at the same exact structure in VR, there are actually features that kind of like stood out that I really didn't notice before, and I understood things better from VR, using VR, because it's that depth perception that it provides you that's way better, and you're actually seeing the shapes much easier, and so I've been pretty much using Nanome almost 50% of the time. To get insights is just faster, because you're not doing this 3D calculation in your head, because it's just right in front of you. A lot of the work is between me and Server. Server's our CEO. He wouldn't even touch PyMOL. Now he's actually getting better at just displaying stuff by himself. So now that he knows how to do that, now he comes to me with questions, right? So they're really designed to be user-friendly and not hard to figure out. And it was true, like he was just able to figure out, at least using the MetaQuest, right? And he already figured it out in a day, right? So now, tomorrow I'm ready to like push him in the room with the investors. I'll be there on the side, but he can just drive the whole thing, right? So, whereas before for PyMOL, I probably have to be there or make a movie in PyMOL, right? Also for making movies, in PyMOL you have to kind of like type the kind of movements you want to do, rotate and stuff like that, and then, but here you're just using your hands, so it's so much easier, right? And then you're casting it, right? And then, so to make presentations like that, it's just so much more efficient, right? And anyone can do it. It just makes things seamless from the specialist trying to communicate to non-specialists what we want, because it's just easier to see it in 3D. We work with antibodies, so immunologists, people who work with antibodies, microscopists, who use our antibodies to do all this imaging, right? So the nice thing about these interactions with different specialists, then I give them some insight, then they come up with sort of complementary ideas, like, oh, if that's the reason, then that's why I see it in microscopy better in this way, and blah, 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 right? So for investors, it's easier for them to understand exactly what our special sauce is, so to speak. It's easier to show why we're much better than our competitors, right? Because we show things side by side and they get it immediately. The ability for anyone to visualize exactly what you want to show them and to convey that idea better, because it's all in 3D in virtual space, is to me the major advantage of using Nanome. With the plugin that you have using Arpeggio, I love the ability for you to turn on or off whatever specific interaction you have and have it visualized in a different color. You can use plugins to kind of like customize things to your specific needs. Any serious structural biology lab or group, whether in academia and industry, should be using Nanome. As workflow, Nanome really just is the way to go, I would say.